Hello everybody, welcome to Filmmaking Today. Bojan Dulabik here. So, are you looking for an app that will allow you to manually control your cell phone camera? Stay tuned. So this is the Manuel Camera DSLR Camera Professional app that will allow you to manually operate your camera and control every aspect of it. Let's take a look at the interface. Alright guys, so this is what the app looks like. It's got a pretty straightforward interface like most of these types of apps. On this side, you've got various functions. Here you can switch between different cameras if you have more than one. And then below that, you have your timer, so you can select between different settings. You've got flash, and then here you have your grid, so you can go through different types of grids right here. Again, pretty straightforward. And then up here, you have your settings. So here you can see how much storage you have left, what f-stop your camera is shooting, ISO, shutter speed, and what format you're shooting. Here you got the recording speed. So you can choose between various speeds, slow it down or speed it up. And then below that, you have your shutter right here. So you can change that to, whatever makes sense to you. And then next to it, you've got the ISO. That's one of those things that a lot of camera apps won't let you change, right? Your shutter speed, your ISO, here you can. That's the whole point. And then here you have your focusing. So you can set it all the way to infinity, or you can just focus manually. And as you can see, you do have focus speaking as well, which you have to turn on, and I'll show you in a second that. And then below that, you got your white balance, which again, your standard white balance settings. And then below that, you've got color effects. Now, I never use these. You can try them out. You've got all these different types of effects. And then here you switch between camera for video and for photos. Pretty straightforward again. And then below that, you've got the playback function. So whatever clips you've taken, this is where you view them. And then below that, you've got your zoom slider. So again, pretty straightforward. So now let's take a look at the settings. And here you have a lot of stuff to choose from. So as you can see, you can show the histogram, focus speaking. This is where you enable it. You can show a crop guide. You have various to choose from. Now this is interesting. Show angle line. I have that enabled. It'll show you if your image is angled or not. Now here under image format, unfortunately it doesn't have camera raw. That sucks a little bit, and I wish it had. So JPEG is going to be it, or the couple of other formats. And then, basic other features. Here under video, you can choose your bitrate. So again, that's not something a lot of camera apps will let you choose. So I maxed that one out. You can go video frame rates, and you've got all the standard ones. Then you've got various other features. So you've got audio source. So if you have an external mic, you can hook it up, and here you will be able to select an external mic. Some apps again won't let you do that. And then again, you have all these features. I do have face detection on. It works pretty nicely. I definitely recommend turning that on. And then save the location here, external storage. Now, professional mode down here, that's important. Make sure you turn that on, because otherwise you will not be able to make these manual changes. Again, more functions here. A lot of it is pretty straightforward, and yeah, you'll be able to definitely customize this thing however you want it to work. Now let's take a look at some footage. Now, first of all, this is what the image looks like when you're able to bring the shutter down to 50. Obviously, it's blown out. You can barely see anything. This looks horrible. And yes, it does, because you need an ND filter. I use this guy right here. You can see my full review on it if you click on the link in the description. When you have a sunny day like this and you bring down the shutter speed, you will get a blown out picture. There's no doubt about that. So with an ND filter, you can get an image like this. And I'll show you why it matters that you're able to fully control your camera and use an ND filter, especially on a sunny day like this. Here's what the image looks like coming from the camera app, where the camera makes the decisions. Now, at first, it might not seem like a big difference, but if we zoom in 400%, let's see how much sharper this image is compared to the one where we controlled all the settings. If you look at the one on the right side, you can tell that it is definitely much sharper than the one on the left side where we controlled all the settings. Usually, you don't want an image to be overly sharp. In this case, that happened because the app cranked up the shutter speed to, who knows, 150, maybe 200, in order to compensate for the fact that the sky is so bright. But by doing that, everything is too sharp. Here's another example where you can tell that. In this shot right here, you can see the water is nice and smooth, but then when we go to this one where the camera controlled all the settings, you can tell how much sharper everything is, and the water loses that silk smoothness. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. As you can see, being able to manually control your cell phone camera is extremely important. If you want to squeeze out the most quality out of your camera, even if you have an iPhone, this app is not available on iOS, it's Android only, but even on the iPhone 11, you still want to be able to fully manually control that camera, to adjust the shutter speed, to adjust the ISO, to make sure that they are at the appropriate setting, and that's how you get the best quality out of these cameras. So a camera like this one, an app like this one will allow you to do that, and you will definitely be able to get the most out of your cell phone. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, tell your friends, and all that good stuff. Thanks.